Hey guys, today we're going to talk sway bars and sway bar disconnects. I think it's a big misconception out there that everybody thinks you need them, or they just don't know why you need them or why you don't want them, and so on and so forth. So we're going to try to explain it today. We even did a little setup with the tractor, tried to make a course, and hopefully it will hold up, but I think we'll get a few passes through there. What we're going to try to show you today is the difference between a car having a sway bar on it, which is going to toss it around, and one that doesn't have a sway bar connected, which is just going to be smooth. You got an independent front, you got an independent rear suspension. They should work independently. So sway bar connects the left to the right in the front and the rear. So as one tire is going up, it's trying to pull the other one up. It's always trying to equalize, to say, the body of the car from rolling over. Which leads to, that's one of the downsides of the sway bar disconnect. It really depends on where you're riding, and that's why we have the quick disconnect kit, so that, I'll tell you, generally we're mobbing out to the trails, it's connected, we get to the trail, we disconnect it, tie it up, and we run the trails, come back out, and if we want to, we'll hook it back up. But honestly, me and Wyatt were talking about it earlier today. I have gotten in the habit of just driving with it disconnected, and it's been 9 months. So for the average guy, don't run out, don't be an idiot, don't try to come in hot first turn. You're gonna roll the thing. So you're definitely gonna notice more lean in the car, especially like on the street. We have a spool in the rear end which locks both rear tires. So when you go around on concrete, it's gonna just exaggerate it and it's gonna lean really hard. But that's it, you know, be careful with it. But as far as what it does for you, that is why we do it. It's phenomenal for trails. It's phenomenal for rock crawling. And I think from what who I've been talking to as far as customers over the last 9 months to a year, it fits majority of my customers of what we're doing. We're not out high-speed desert running. We're doing rock trails, loose stuff, big hills, things like that. It plays in. So what it does is, right now, when you're hitting a bump in your car, it's jolting you over. So you're feeling it in your body. And then, I mean, you come through a creek crossing or something, or a ditch, and it's a little off camber. It is literally, I mean, you can hardly talk when it's happening. So it's constantly, dude, oh my God, stop. Anyways, so it's like that, and it's horrible. If you put the disconnected sway bars, when you come through those crosses and everything else, you're gonna get the slightest movement. Everything's working independent. So that's one big, huge factor of it, if not one of the biggest. The other one is the amount of wheel travel you get. How high you can pick a tire off the ground before the other ones start trying to come off the ground and actually roll you. So in the same, how do you say that? I guess at higher speeds, the sway bars help. At slower speeds, they hurt you. So when you go up, you don't have the wheel travel, so all of a sudden the car wants to come on three wheels and try to roll over. So this is a huge way to get past it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run out, try our course out, and show you the differences, and hopefully everything works out and comes out well. And then we'll show you some other challenges of how much wheel travel extra you can get with the sway bar disconnect, and then we'll do an install. So see you in a minute. Okay. check the height. Say 34 and a quarter. I think that's a pretty huge difference, and it's not even being force flexed. Yeah, so we're about 27 now. Where were we at before?
34.
Yeah, so about 27. Yeah. Hey, so the video, it shows you the difference. Hopefully you can see it. Even in like slow motion, you'll see it even more. But the body inside is one big thing, and it really makes a huge difference. So as you saw too, even like flexing it out, it makes a big difference. So I highly recommend it. Like I said, I'm kind of running without it now. If I know we're going out on a long, ghost town runs or anything else, hey, I'll put it on. But other than that, I just don't feel that much of a need for it anymore. But again, don't want anybody going out getting hurt. Go slow. Try to feel how your car reacts and get used to it. Decide if you like it or not. So I'm going to cut and start showing you how to install it. As you can see, this is the KRX 1000. This one is the one we're going to be installing the Swaybar disconnects on. So basically, I'll show you what comes with our kit on the table. Okay, for starters, it's not a whole kit, is it? Yeah, it is. Cool. This is what I'm going to say for starters. You're going to see this one has a hole drilled in it. This is your front bracket. And we were trying to do something a little different with it, so I'll show you that. But right now, I'm going to take you over to the shop KRX and show you this one installed on the car. Okay, so on the standard KRX 1000, if you do not have a washer bottle, this is the bracket you want to install. As you can see, it just bolts right into this one here and connects to your sway bar. So again, that's how the bracket looks. So the only trick with installing this is you want to put in this nut and bolt, get them finger tight, and you actually want to disconnect the sway bar and bring it up and push it in, tighten up that nut. Once this one is done, tighten these two down. And that's it. You'll never have to touch these two again, and it'll always be aligned for the sway bar just to come up into it. But basically this is for no reservoir bottle, and this is the majority of the kits we've been selling. Okay, so that covers that front bracket. So soon we're going to have a new kit coming out, and basically this is it here. So this is going to be the bracket if you have a washer bottle like this car here. If you look at the actual washer bottle, it sits right onto that bracket, so we can't do the sway bar disconnect there. So today you'll see us install the new style for the KRX. And if you guys need this one, then just give us a call. I'm sure we can figure out something, but for right now, we have a ton of inventory of the other kits, so we're gonna get through those, and then we're gonna officially change the design over to these. So this bracket here, this is your rear bracket. So this is the one that you're gonna attach to the rear. And by the way, to note too, both of them go on the passenger side. I've had customers call me and ask me that all the time. Both go on the passenger side, as we're gonna show you. The other thing is you get these reusable zip ties in here. So all you got to do is hit this little button on the side, and then it comes out. So you can just reuse these. You basically need 2 for the kit, but we give you 4. You can throw some extras in the glove box or wherever, but you might lose these or break them or whatever. So we give you some other ones, but these are to tie up the links, and we'll show you how to do that too. So I'm going to jump in and start installing. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the sway bar links from the A-arms. So these are a 14 millimeter. Okay. Now, if Wyatt can jump up in there, this is also where the factory Kawasaki bumpers are mounting, and other brands might mount here as well. This is what we're going to end up using to mount this one. So I'll be removing the bolts. It's impossible to see with a camera in my face. Okay, pull out the 2 bolts. And as you'll see, if you can look in those 2 holes, you're going to see they're not really aligning. Seems like that bumper's pushing back a little tiny bit, but I'm going to get in there right now and so that one's definitely fighting me a little bit because that bumper is definitely pushing back. I just don't want to cross-thread it. Okay, so that's the installation of the front bracket. Next thing you want to do, you're just going to slide out, and you'll notice there is a washer on it, so you can keep those on there. And I'll just jump to the other side and push the other one out. So basically, to disconnect your sway bars on the trail or even at the shop, all you got to do is take that off, those 2 nuts off, and now you're just going to push it back up and push it right into the bracket. Put your nut back on. And I do not have the 14 wrench, but I don't think I need to tighten it to show how to do that. So that's it. You just basically want that up in there, tighten it down, and you're good. On the other side, you're going to take this sway bar link, you want to just put it up there, put on your reusable tie, and just keep it like that. Now, you could put the nut, if you're going to keep the washer on here, obviously get the nut on here, get it a little bit tight so that way you don't lose it, but that's all you got to do for the front. So now, I'll get to the rear. Okay, so for the rear, this is your bracket for the rear, and you're going to need 2 nuts, 2 bolts. That's it for the rear. You'll notice in the kits too, you guys are going to have some extra hardware left over, and that's fine, that's normal. Basically, it's for anybody that doesn't have a front bumper. If you don't have front bumper, you don't have those bolts. So we're supplying them. So if you have something extra, it's not a big deal. As far as tools too, I should mention, hey, we carry these awesome push panel pliers. And let me show you really quick how these things work. But you could basically put it on these push pins in the car, and you can use the prying side of these just like this that you see. So we have these too, but they're definitely what you're going to need to pull out the push pins, as I'll show you. Okay, so for the rear install, you want to remove these 2 push pins. This is in the passenger rear fender well, and this is where you're going to bolt on your new bracket. So I'm going to jump to the inside really quick and use my push panel pliers and pull those out. Okay. the next thing to do is just push in your hardware is about the simplest way to do it. You can do it from the inside, outside. This is the way I like to do it. Where did I leave the bracket? There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is reach around to this bolt towards the outside of the car and keep it pushed in so I can get a nut on it. Okay, that's it. Your bracket's installed and it's on there. You got to tighten it up. I won't do that in the video, but the next thing I'm going to show you is how to disconnect the sway bar. Okay, so same 14. It's the same 14 front and rear. So in actuality, you could take a 14 wrench and like I have an old socket, an old ratchet, and I throw it in my toolbox. So I have what I need everywhere I go. So. Just using an electric ratchet because it's quicker for this video. Leave that there for a second. Get the other side off. So to line it up pretty much, you just want to set it up, put the point in, push it through, put your nut back on. So tighten that up as well. And again, for video, I won't do it, but that's that side. Now, same as the front, on the rear and the other side, that sway bar link shouldn't get in the way of anything, but you can just simply tie it off and tie it off to the sway bar just around about the same way as the front, and that's it. So I think that concludes it, guys. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, like and subscribe. Keep saying a lot. I don't know why, but I do. So anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. We'll try to get some more cool content, and hopefully that made sense. So I appreciate you for watching. Thank you.